How you doing? It's me again, Tony Salome from the show Rigatoni Brothers, coming at you with my business Blockbuster Video. I purchased this Blockbuster Video franchise from my Uncle Jimmy for a used Color Supreme and a meatball sandwich. Is it legal? I don't know, but who's telling? I hope you're not telling. Here at Blockbuster Video, we got your classics like Happy Gilmore, Click, Jack and Jill, and The Benchwarmers, which was also produced by Adam Sandler. You can rent all your favorite Adam Sandler classics for 3 days, but you better return that shit, otherwise my buddy Patricio is gonna be coming for a visit. You may not have a VCR, but you can still rent the tape, and then Donatello will ring you up and give you a Russian link to a free version of the movie. So come on down to Blockbuster Video and show my mother purchasing this outdated video store wasn't a bad idea. Blockbuster Video, across the street from Armado Ice. So come on down, you fat piece of shit. Are we done here? Oh, okay. Oh, it's recording? Oh shit, well how do you stop it? Oh, you can't? Uh-oh. Ladies and gentlemen, the Short News Podcast with your host, Alex Mador. It's been way too long, people. What is going on? Welcome back to the Short News Podcast, the show that went out for cigarettes and never came back after saying it would only be a couple of hours. In case you've forgotten who I am, or if you're new here, my name is Alex Mador, and I'm here to talk about, current events, talk some shit. And, boy, did we miss a lot during my time away. And you're probably wondering, Alex, what the fuck? You abandoned us. I've been waiting for the newest episode for months now. Did you just give up? No. I took a break. And a lot of new things have happened in my life. I got my college diploma, so that's good. Thank you. Wow. Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, I got a job, gained 42,000 followers on TikTok, and became an influencer with brand deals. I nursed my guinea pig back to health for over a month after thinking he was going to die. It's been a wild few months. I haven't been relaxing that much. Let's just put it that way. I also turned 26 a couple of weeks ago, so I am now officially off my family's health insurance and have to get my own, which I did. I was worried about that at first, but the state I live in has really affordable options for health insurance, and I'm literally paying nothing for it because the government pays, which is awesome. But adulting is still scary. That's why I've been away. I've been adulting. I have a feeling we have a lot of new listeners coming from TikTok, so I wanted to give a shout out to you wonderful people who have consumed my content over the last couple of months. I hope you can also enjoy this show, even though it's very different from the content you are probably used to from me. And listen, man, TikTok has been so cool. I started telling stories from my childhood on there, and people really seem to enjoy hearing them. I knew the way my parents raised me was fucked up, but I did not know it was that bad. Someone in the comments of a video was like, dude had Eminem's mom. And that made me laugh. A lot of people are wondering what I'm going to do if my parents find my TikTok account. And to that, I say, I'm an adult, and they can't tell me what I can and can't post. On top of that, they would never go out of their way to consume any content created by me. My dad listened to 5 minutes of this podcast one time, and he said it was too long and boring. So he wouldn't watch any of my videos unless someone showed it to him. I was like, you got to see what he says about you. If he knew it was about him, then maybe, because my parents are narcissists, so whatever. But my parents have very little to no interest in what I'm doing with my life creatively. Like, you guys don't understand. My parents don't believe in me. So we're safe from them. But anyways, that's my life update. TikTok has been crazy, but I'm also working on some new music. I know I always say that, but I've been diving into my darkest feelings and darkest points of my life to draw inspiration out of. But okay, we need to move on to current events. It's been way too long and I'm a little rusty, but holy shit. This Russia versus Ukraine war we have going on is really messing us up. That's an understatement. I know. I'm sorry, but I only know how to say things in understatements. Um, Ukraine has been putting up a really good fight, but Putin's forces are completely leveling Ukrainian cities. We're seeing a lot of destruction, but we're also seeing a lot of assistance coming in from other countries, like the United States, in the form of lethal aid, aka weapons. But Russia warned that any actions taken to help Ukraine would lead to nuclear level consequences. So I need to ask the question, why are we sending lethal aid to Ukraine? Doesn't that count as helping them, or is Russia somehow okay with us doing that? I don't get it. But the U.S. also sanctioned Russia in order to cripple their economy, since they can no longer trade goods with us or other countries who have also sanctioned them. And this has led to all kinds of economic issues. The main thing that I wanted to talk about, since this affects most of us, is gas prices. A lot of us have cars. We need cars, and gas used to be cheap. It was something I rarely worried about, but because the United States no longer buys oil from Russia, American oil companies have raised their prices, claiming that it's because of Russia invading Ukraine. But here's the thing: the United States only ever bought 3% of their oil from Russia. So what about the other 97%? The prices we're all seeing at the pump seem pretty disproportionate to losing just 3% of our oil source. Sounds like the oil companies are lying to us so they can take as much money from us as possible. They're taking advantage of a tragic and fucked up invasion to make more profit, and it's disgusting. It's worse than companies who donate to homophobic politicians that then change their logo to the rainbow flag for the month of June. But what can we do about this? Honestly, I don't know. The price gouging is also hitting us everywhere else. Groceries are insanely expensive now. Romaine lettuce for my guinea pigs is just, the price is constantly increasing. And this guy wrote an article calling out LaCroix for changing their 12 packs to 8 packs, but keeping them at the same exact price as the 12 packs were. And it's not even like these companies would be put out of business if they just kept things priced normally, kept their inventory the way it was, didn't pull these dirty tricks. They're just taking advantage of consumers who are already struggling enough and taking advantage of a tragic situation in Ukraine. And, I thought I was making decent money at my job until literally everything started costing more. And what is our wonderful ancient relic of a president, Joe Biden, doing about this? Let's see. Oh, right. Nothing. Nothing. But he tweeted, "Someone do something about this." No, dude, you. You should do something about it. Did you forget that you're the president? Someone please remind this man that he has the power to communicate to Congress, members of Congress, that they need to come to an agreement on something that would protect American consumers. But no, everybody just wants to protect the fucking corporations in every possible way that they can. What a bunch of pricks. Congress can't pass anything. And that goes into our next topic of the day, mass shootings. That was such a shitty segue, but mass shootings have been the talk of the town for a while now. Nothing's been done about it. There was a school shooting in Uvalde, Texas, where some freak murdered a bunch of innocent children, And then people like Ted Cruz went to speak at a gun convention, the NRA convention, a couple days later to say, we need more guns to stop these shootings. The same we need more good guys with guns argument is being touted by these conservatives who continue to ignore the fact that there were 19 good guys with guns waiting outside that Uvalde school for an hour while an active shooter was inside gunning down innocent children. They could have done something. They didn't. What happened there? Good guys with guns didn't work. Doesn't work. For the party that's so hell-bent on killing abortion rights for women in the name of saving children, they really don't seem to actually want to save the children when it comes to children being massacred by AR-15s. They just want to make sure it's as easy as possible to buy these killing machines when it's more difficult to get a driver's license. When, yeah, cars kill people. We see a lot of car accidents and drunk drivers, all that stuff, but cars aren't literally designed for the purpose of killing like guns are. Cars are for transportation. Guns are for killing. So don't these idiots think it's only logical to make it at least as challenging as getting a driver's license to get these weapons? I personally don't want to go grocery shopping and have to worry about someone coming in and gunning me down while I'm buying price gouged lettuce for my guinea pigs. I don't think anyone wants to worry about that. There was also a shooting at a Taiwanese church in California, and while I don't agree with religion, I understand that churches are supposed to be a safe haven for communities to come together and worship. And people's guards are naturally going to be down in a place of worship, making the shooting even more tragic. All of these mass shootings, though, are tragic and disgusting because they happen in places that all of us attend, regular parts of our days. And when we go to those places, we now have this concern in the back of our head that we're going to be in the middle of a battlefield while we're just going shopping. This isn't okay. And politicians who want to act like this is okay and do nothing about it deserve to be bullied and held accountable for the blood on their hands. And I'm talking about people on both sides. Joe Biden will tweet, this is bad and we should do something, but fucking does nothing. Congress talks about passing gun bills. No one can agree on shit, and the bill gets broken down and chipped away at until it's nothing more. It's just not even useful. Senator Chris Murphy of Connecticut always talks about how important gun reform is. That's his whole thing. He markets himself as the gun reform guy, but he won't make any effort to actually make anything happen to strengthen gun laws. These politicians will just pick and choose a cause that's relevant to their voters and then represent it out in the open while doing nothing behind closed doors. And it pisses me off so much. Like this is why nothing ever gets accomplished in the United States. And as long as there's assholes like Ted Cruz in office, the NRA will always be ungovernable. So I think we should roast Ted Cruz for old time's sake, since that's what we do best on this show. It's been a long time and I've missed it a lot. So I got this pulled up here. I don't have a Jamie like Joe Rogan. I'll skip around because this is a 30-minute speech that he gave at the NRA convention in Houston. It was in Texas. After a shooting happened in Texas, it was like a couple days after that shooting. Ugh, gross. Gross. Boo. Boo.
God bless the great state of Texas.
Ugh.
I want to speak today on the nature of evil.
I'm the perfect representative of the nature of evil because I take money from the NRA and I make sure that these shootings can happen more and more. There's lots of blood on my hands, so I want to talk about my nature of evil, which comes from where my testicles would be, but they're not there.
We're gathered today under crushing darkness. On Tuesday, less than 300 miles away, an evil man murdered 19 children and 2 teachers. Within hours, I was on a plane back to Texas from Washington.
I was on a plane back from Cancun. I went on another vacation because I do not get enough of those. I need to treat myself. I was at Pinkberry. I went on vacation. I was on the plane, and then I stopped at Pinkberry in the airport because I was like, I'm in a rush, but my tummy is rumbling. My tummy is rumbling. You know me. Y'all know me.
I spent the entire next day in Uvalde. There I sat down with law enforcement.
Oh, the ones who didn't do anything?
And I joined in a community prayer vigil that evening. The entire community was reeling. Shooting. We prayed together, cried together.
Dude, oh my god. God fucking damn it, I have to restart the recording.
Okay, fuck. So, let me explain what just happened there. My vectored robot started interfering really a lot with the fucking... What the fuck? Well, this was supposed to go smoothly, and it didn't, so let's get back into it. Fuck my life.
Mourning the unspeakable losses that have shaken the Uvalde community and that have gripped our entire nation. There are no words to describe a monster who enters a school and murders little children.
It could have not
19.
happened. It could have not happened if that dude wasn't able to just go out and buy a gun like he was just buying a piece of candy.
19 families in Uvalde who lost their little boys, their little girls. 2 families of teachers who aren't here with us. None of us will ever truly understand the manifest evil that devastated Uvalde on that day. The entire state, the entire country is horrified and grieving. And it is an evil that has happened too many damn times.
Then make it stop. You're literally a lawmaker. How do you not think that the guns, or the access to the guns, the accessibility to the guns is a problem? The fact that anybody can just get one without proving that they're a responsible gun owner, that's ridiculous. How do you not acknowledge the fact that the guns, the presence of the guns, are part of the reason why these fucking shootings are happening? Great, now my Amazon Echo is going off. I don't know what's going on here. Anyways, these shootings could be prevented if a young psycho wasn't able to get their hands on an AR-15. And anybody with a brain or with a conscience who isn't taking money from the NRA knows that and is willing to acknowledge that teenagers shouldn't be able to, psychologically unwell teenagers shouldn't be able to have access to these weapons, because we've seen time and time again how that goes wrong.
In the last several years, especially, Texas has repeatedly seen the face of evil. repeatedly. I've been on the ground after these tragedies, one after another. I was in Dallas in 2016, in Sutherland Springs in 2017, in Santa Fe in 2018, in El Paso and Midland, Odessa in 2019. Now you've all.
Yeah, you go to all of those places so that you can take the photo up that I was here, it was horrible, it's so bad, so sad. Am I going to do anything about it? No, probably not. What, you expect me to do something? No, you see how fat these pockets are? These pockets are so fat with NRA money. I can't do it. My pockets are full. My hands and pockets are full. I can't do anything. I'm sorry.
Each time, picture of. If children are the picture of innocence, then the lunatics and the monsters like this one, the one who would deliberately murder children, they are the picture of evil. Many of us in this room are mothers and fathers. What happened in Uvalde is the ultimate nightmare for every parent. The anguish of those families right now is unimaginable.
Yeah, no
Very
shit.
worst pain on earth. All of us in Texas need to come together and comfort those families right now. We need to love them, embrace them, and take care of them.
What about preventative measures? How about apologize to them for the fact that you're so shitty of a senator that you couldn't make sure psychos like that couldn't do psycho shit like that and kill those people's children? Boo. Boo. Boo.
Having visited communities over and over again struck by the darkest evil, there's another consistent pattern I've seen. Repeatedly, despite the darkness, I've seen love and passion and heroism and strength in these communities. You see heroes, men and women from all walks of life, of every color and creed, pastors and lay people coming together and standing. No matter the horror, our state's response to each act of evil, to each challenge.
Coming together to do nothing. That's the thing. Coming together to do what? To comfort and pray and thoughts and prayers and yeah, we're doing all kinds of stuff. Are you doing anything about preventing the gun violence? No, but we're gonna hug. We're gonna give those people a big hug when their kids get shot. We're gonna give them a big hug. Like, what the fuck, dude? I'm so sick of nothing happening. And all of this whole speech is just bullshit. It's just a word salad of just, yeah, we're gonna come together right now over me. Doobie-da-boobie-da-boobie-da-boom. Like, dude, you have the power to make a difference. You even have the power to turn around to the NRA and be like, hey guys, I'm not going to take your money anymore. This shit is getting kind of ugly. But because Ted Cruz is a sackless prick, he's not going to do that. He's going to continue taking the money so he can go on Cancun vacations and leave his dog home in the cold. You know, like that's just what Ted Cruz does. And to expect anything better of him is just insanity. And I shouldn't expect that.
Challenge has always been one of unity and strength. Uvalde is strong. Texas is strong. And the entire country stands alongside the men and women who are grieving in Uvalde today. We will get through this. And we will come through this together. At the same time, it is incumbent on us to understand what is behind these evil attacks. You know, when we were growing up, that kind of thing didn't happen. Kids may have worried about getting into a fist.
Oh, is this where he's going to blame video games? We grew up, this kind of thing didn't happen. Yeah, because, like, there weren't all these, like, mental illnesses. There weren't all these fucking people being raised wrong. There weren't all these people being exposed to just constant traumatic shit. There wasn't just the glorification of just the worst things. And video games are not the problem. This country has become so much more extreme in a lot of ways since Ted was a kid. There's so much more extremism. There's like the far left and the far right, and the far right is just so extreme about their guns and so aggressive about their guns and about shooting and the freedom to be able to shoot wherever, whatever, and whoever. Carry your gun in a grocery store. Texas, you're allowed to do that. But this also wasn't happening because Columbine hadn't happened yet, which then kids started copying that once they realized, oh, I can just shoot up my school. The guns were always accessible. But I hate to say it, shooting up schools wasn't like trendy yet. The Columbine shooting made that into a trend. And since then, school shootings have just been a constant thing. And I think a lot of that also has to do with how the media has evolved over time since Ted was a kid. I think like they cover every one of these shootings. They plaster the shooter's name everywhere and their face everywhere. And that makes people who are mentally unwell think, I want to be that. I want to be notorious in that horrible way. And then they go on to do those horrible things. I think there's a lot of factors that go into that. But video games, no. Video games, no. Because there's always been violence in media. There's always been Western films where the morals are just eye for an eye, kill whoever you want, like guns everywhere. There was Scarface, there was, all those mob movies, and people aren't going around committing organized crimes because they saw those movies. So nobody's going out and going, I'm going to shoot up a school because I played Call of Duty. That's not realistic. And I just know he's going to say it, and it's annoying me.
Fight at school. Maybe a bloody nose at recess. But we never worried about a psychopath coming into our classrooms to commit murder. The elites who dominate our culture tell us that firearms lie at the root of the problem.
Yes.
By elite, I refer to some.
Yes, because guns were okay. If the guns weren't there, if the Uvalde shooter wasn't able to buy a gun, how would he have shot up the school? How would he have shot up the school? He went in, he legally bought that gun. He walked into a store, bought it, walked out, and then shot up a fucking school. The gun is completely involved in that situation, and the ability for a psycho to go and get one like that.
Some of the most powerful politicians and their allies in the media, the leaders of the largest corporations, and many of the most famous celebrities, and those who echo and amplify them. Their resources are limitless. Their megaphone is enormous. Their voice can be deafening.
Do you think Ted Cruz's kids hate him? I saw a video of him getting yelled at a restaurant when he was like out to eat with his family, and I felt bad for his kids because they were just like, I hate my dad. I hate my dad. He is so lame. Like that's the vibe I'm getting. I think they're like teenagers now, so automatically when you're a teenager, you hate your parents. And if your dad is Ted Cruz, then fuck, dude. I hate you, dad, all the time. That would be me. Fuck you, dad. I'm voting for the Democrats when I'm older. No, you're not, son. I won't let you. I'll forge that voter ballot. I don't know what I'm saying. I smoked a little weed before this episode. I'm sorry.
Many of these same people make their accusations from behind great bulwarks of safety, from gated communities equipped with private security, or at the very least, from safe and expensive neighborhoods protected by high home prices and low crime rates. Such people can afford an indulgent ideology that ignores reality. As is so often the case, those furthest from the halls of power are the most dependent.
Aren't you rich as shit? Isn't part of the reason you're speaking at this NRA convention is because they're paying you a lot of money to do so? So why are you speaking about other people being elites when you yourself are an elite? Cosplaying as a working class when we all know you're rich as fuck. You dumb idiot.
Dependent on the ability to defend themselves. For millions of Americans, the right to keep and bear arms is not theoretical, it's not abstract. For a single mom in a dangerous neighborhood, it is a matter of basic security. Taking guns away from these responsible Americans will not make them safer, nor will it make our nation more secure. In an age where elites embrace defunding the police, when homelessness runs rampant, when gangs dominate entire communities, and when radical district attorneys refuse to prosecute violent crime in cities across America, rarely has the Second Amendment been more necessary to secure the rights of our fellow citizens.
You know what I want to bring up really quickly? Let me bring up the Second Amendment. U.S. Constitution. There's a part in there that is really it's right at the beginning of Amendment 2. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Now that first part, you hear that? Well-regulated militia? Well-regulated? Now, well-regulated would mean that not just anybody can bear arms, can take up arms and be a part of a militia, right? That would mean, there would need to be regulations, which we do not have. I can't talk. The Constitution even fucking calls for it. Right there. And they're ignoring that. What, just because, you can't be, 8 years old and going and buy a gun? It's oh, that's fine. That's fine. It's well-regulated. You can't be, 5 years old and going and buy an AR-15? I wish. There's no shame in regulating the ability for a teenager to purchase a killing machine. When the Constitution fucking calls for it. Well regulated, Ted.
But many would still tell us that the evil on
This is
display.
the fucking constitutional lawyer, Ted Cruz. Meanwhile, I just Google it. Well regulated, you dumb fuck.
play in Uvalde or in Buffalo derives from the presence of guns in the hands of ordinary American citizens. Far easier to slander one's political adversary and to demand that responsible citizens forfeit their constitutional right. And it is to examine the cultural sickness giving birth to unspeakable acts. Far less comfortable to ask why despair and isolation and violent hatred is so prevalent in America.
Because of you, partially because of you, dude. You have a part to play in that. Your policies, just in general, wanting to regulate women's lives, that's hate right there. And that's going to make people hate you. You want to know why people hate you? Because you do shit like this.
It requires a sick soul to drive a truck into a crowded sidewalk, to plant a bomb at a marathon, or to fly a plane into a building. It requires a
Shout out to 9/11.
sick soul to open fire in a movie theater or in a church or in a school. A speeding automobile in the hands of a madman is deadly, as is a jet airplane.
As is a gun. Idiot. He says everything but the most deadly fucking thing, where he's at the convention for the most deadly fucking thing. Yeah, you know, the automobile. Fuck you.
Tragedies like the events of this week are a mirror, forcing us to ask hard questions, demanding that we see where our culture is failing. Looking at broken families, absent fathers.
How about what? How about where our... Okay, the absent father thing, that's like a racially not okay thing to say, because you know who they're generalizing that about, because I've heard my own dad generalize that. It's the culture, you know, they don't have dads, it's the culture, that's why they do crimes. That's what he's saying right now, and it's like, no, dude. I know plenty of people of color who have very tightly knit, loving families, so that's bullshit. It's not what it's about. He's skirting past the main thing. You're at a gun event, blaming everything but the guns for the shootings involving the guns. Where if the guns weren't there, then the shootings wouldn't fucking happen. Because at least in our schools, we aren't turning into a fucking Call of Duty lobby. Turned British there for a second. I'm so mad at this fucking bearded blobfish, pufferfish looking cunt. This is him. And that's all I hear when Ted Cruz talks. That's him sucking off the NRA. Wait. I'm gonna get in trouble. Like there's more people that listen to this now than before. I need to stop acting like I'm just talking to myself. They're like, stop, I'm listening to this with my mom.
Declining church.
Don't listen to this with your mom.
Church attendance, social media bullying, violent online content, desensitizing the act of murder in video games, chronic...
Like I said before, we've had old Western films since before video games were even an idea on the drawing board. We've had glorification of violence, desensitization, all of that shit for the longest time.
Isolation.
They're clapping for that? Blame everything but the guns, Ted. Yeah, keep it up. Keep blaming everything but the guns. Is he gonna blame marijuana? That's a thing that Fox News has been doing lately. Because Rupert Murdoch has, financial interests in destroying the cannabis industry.
Drug and opioid abuse and their collective effects on the psyche of young Americans is both complicated.
Yeah, but the opioid users aren't the ones going to the schools and shooting up kids.
Fast. It's a lot easier.
Like, the opioid users need help, definitely, and we should be offering social systems that get them help. That's a completely different issue. What does it have to do with school shootings? It doesn't.
To moralize about guns and to shriek about those you disagree with politically. But it's never been about it. We know that places with some of the most restrictive gun laws, places like Chicago and Baltimore and Washington, D.C., they don't have less gun violence. Indeed, they contain some of the most dangerous communities. We also know that there are communities in places like Texas with extraordinarily high rates of gun ownership and extraordinarily low rates of gun violence. We know that keeping guns away from citizens who follow the law.
But you don't have any statistics to back that up. You're just saying, we know a lot of places where a lot of people don't shoot people. So, yeah, suck on that, Democrats.
Does very little to keep them away from criminals who ignore them. We know that there are no more guns per capita in this nation today than there were 50 or 100 years ago.
And the gun violence in Chicago is gang violence. Like, that's a completely different issue that could be solved by, once again, putting social systems in place that get people what they need in those areas where they're not, where they're being deprived of basic resources and opportunities that would get them out of the darkness they're living in. There would be no need for gangs if those needs were being met. And that's a completely different issue. People there are killing each other because they feel like they need to, because they feel like they need to protect themselves and their fellow members and their families. I studied gangs in college, and I really empathize with the people who join them. Because it's not something you just do because you want to be cool. It's like, it's dangerous out there. You want your family to protect you. That's your family. And everybody's going to take care of each other. Because the fucking government won't. The government won't. Ted wants to just blame those areas for the gun violence that happened in his state. There's no school shootings in Chicago. Gang violence is a completely different thing. Mass shootings are what we should be talking about here.
That's worth underscoring. In 1972, the rate of per capita gun ownership in the United States was 43%. In 2021, the rate is 42%. The rate of gun ownership hasn't changed. And yet, acts of evil like we saw this week are on the rise. We have to ask ourselves. The press will tell us these horrific crimes occur only in America. That simply isn't true. The data show, according to the Crime Prevention Research Center, quote, out of the 101 countries where we have identified mass public shootings occurring, the United States ranks 66th in the per capita frequency of these attacks and 56th in the murder rate.
Because we're not fucking Somalia or something, just being like attacked by pirates. What? I don't understand. Shouldn't you just 66 is still not great. That's still not that great, dude. Just because, like, not everywhere you go, you're gonna get like shot up. Like, it hasn't become that. So it's fine. It's fine. We're not that bad. We're not that bad. We're just 66. That's on the board. That's on the board. We shouldn't even be on the board.
To be clear, one is one. We know.
I just want to clarify. I know nothing about Somalia other than the pirates. So, like, I just assume that those pirates are just, stealing people's shit and killing them, and that nobody's protecting the civilians. I don't know. I've seen Captain Phillips, and that's all I know. And I'm an ignorant, dumb American. And feel free to tweet angrily at me for that, because I really don't know. Let me see. Is Somalia run by pirates? The United Nations has adopted a resolution for continuous vigilance against the threats of maritime piracy. Piracy networks remain active despite long-running suppression efforts. All right, so Somali pirates. The biggest victims of Somali piracy are the Somalis themselves. Nearly 4 million people there depend on food donations. Oh, geez. So the pirates are just fucking shit up. Okay, so anyways, so we don't have pirates that are coming in and fucking our shit up on the daily, but we do have, elementary schoolers being gunned down in the middle of their not algebra, what do kids learn? In the middle of their arithmetic classes. I would be so scared to be a kid nowadays. Like, I'm honestly, I feel kind of lucky that I grew up when I did. Because oh geez, it's just so fucking scary. Being a kid nowadays, not good. Stop having kids, people. I know Elon Musk is like, we should have more kids. Why are they telling us not to have more kids? I have 8. I don't see any of them ever. Just stop having kids. It's life is gonna be miserable for them. I'm not gonna. Anyways, Ted goes on for another 15 minutes. Oh, I want to move on. He just blames everything but the gun, so we're gonna move on, okay? We're gonna move on and talk about abortion. That was the other major issue. Women's rights. Came up while I was taking time off from the show. Abortion. Someone leaked that the Supreme Court was striking down Roe versus Wade, which federally protected women and allowed them to get abortions. And since we have a mostly conservative Supreme Court with religious views, of course they're going to make their best attempts at bringing us back to our antiquated puritanical origins, to a time where women had no control over their lives and were seen as nothing more than accessories and child bearers. We see a huge resurgence in people openly talking like this. There's all these new alpha male podcasts that are coming out that perfectly align with how these conservative lawmakers view women, and it's extremely disturbing that people actually think like this in 2022. This one specific podcast called the Fresh and Fit Show is a great indicator of where conservative male minds are when it comes to their views on women. So I thought we could take a look at some of the things they've said on their show so I can see what they're like and maybe react to it here and maybe, bring that back around to the conservative issues the problems that conservatives are creating by, trying to take away women's abilities to have control over what goes on in their own bodies. So here we go. Fresh and Fit podcast. Proof that too many girls. What does this say?
Marriageable Man or your Instagram?
Proof that too many girls are hoes. That's what this is called. That's good.
My Instagram.
Damn.
Okay. Instagram, right?
Instagram. Ain't no marriage these days.
So he's going around, he's asking them, are you marriage? or Instagram. You can only pick one in this dude's eyes. You can either get married or you can keep your Instagram. And if you have an Instagram, you're a hoe and you can't be married because you're just showing off all your body to all these other men. And that should be just one man's body. That's just one man's body to look at. No one can look at you. Nobody. You need to be locked up in the basement. That's what we want. No, that's not what we want. That's not what we want.
Damn.
Instagram.
I would say marriageable man.
Okay. Okay. What about you?
If by marriageable you mean loyal, then a marriageable man. But
Yeah.
if he's not gonna be loyal, fuck that. I'm gonna keep my Instagram.
He's a marriageable man. He's
No,
gonna be
man.
faithful and take care of you, all that shit.
What?
Okay, so that's an Instagram. Okay, fantastic. What about you?
Why do I have to choose? Like,
Yeah, pick one. Marriageable man or Instagram?
Does he not realize that, like, there's a lot of married people in the world and they have Instagrams? You and your partner are allowed to have your own social media accounts. It's not that, like, it's not cheating to have a social media account. Why is the man allowed to have an Instagram then? If he's married and the woman isn't, that doesn't make sense.
God damn.
there's only there's only one use
What's
really
so-
for men
what's it so
that you
hard?
don't
Yeah.
like. So
This should be easy.
Bro.
No, it's not. Damn it.
Now you guys know why the girls got so triggered when I said if you have an Instagram, it's cheating. Now y'all know. Wow. Look at the answers.
Instagram is cheating.
shit.
So he thinks if a girl has an Instagram and she's in a relationship, then it's cheating. How? Just because, like, dudes are gonna look at her? She's not engaging with those people. She's just, maybe she looks good that day and she's like, I want the internet to see this. That's fine. That's fine. Geez, why are you so fucking insecure about having a girl that looks good and wants to show that to the world too? You just want to own somebody? That's kind of fucked up. And not every female, they don't like saying, not every girl, not every woman wants to be exploited on Instagram by men. Like, a lot of women I know, they have Instagram and they just post their art, or their they got like a cool poster at the store, like, check this out, some interior design or memes or whatever. Women are not a completely different species from guys. They use Instagram in a similar way to us. It's not that different. It's really not that different. He acts like they're a completely different species just because they have a vagina. Just because some have a vagina. Sorry. It's, oh my God.
All right, we'll move on and come back to you. What about you?
It's a challenge.
Marriageable man or Instagram?
Instagram.
Damn.
Right?
Wow. What about you?
Wow.
With an answer now?
Instagram.
All right. I got into a lot of heat for this, and that's why we had this discussion with that Australian radio podcast. And I was like, yo, if a girl has sexy pictures of herself on Instagram and she's with you, she's your main chick, that's cheating, bro. Like, she's advertising herself. And everyone's like, no, it's not, blah, blah, blah. It fucking is.
What if she's a businesswoman? And she, like, I was talking to my girl about this. I was partially joking, but I was like, if I had nice feet, I would hope that you wouldn't mind if I just was, like, posting my nice ass feet to OnlyFans for, $15 a month. And I just hope that you, and she was like, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I was like, yeah, so does that make me a hoe? I'm just trying to get that bag. I'm not going to do it because my feet look like fucking disgusting. They look horrible. They look monstrous. I wouldn't do that. But I wish. I have no ill will towards people who do take advantage of the fact that they are very good looking in order to get that bag. I think that is a valuable and an intelligent business move to flaunt it while you've got it, to to establish your finances, to have an income, do what you got to do. Because I don't want to be giving that out for free. What the hell? What's this dude? This dude, the fresh and fit guy, like he just wants like a useless person. Like he wants women to just be useless. No, like I would prefer for someone, if I was single, I would prefer to be seeking somebody who knew what they wanted for themselves and would be fine if I wasn't in the picture. That's what I like. That's what I would prefer. Somebody who has an identity outside of the relationship, and Myron here doesn't seem to be comfortable with the idea of a female. I said it again, of a woman having a girlfriend who has an identity outside of him. And that's weird because women are fucking humans like us, and they have their own identities outside of us. They're not just meant to be at our side at all times and to serve us.
Because
But if I'm getting paid to do it, how? If that's my job,
He'll
Post
pay
sexy
you.
pictures.
That's different.
He's
right?
not
That's
paying
different.
you
that's
nothing.
different. But
He's
let's be
not-
honest.
that's
Most
different.
girls, bro,
Yeah.
most girls don't make money off the IG like that. Or
Oh,
if they do,
well.
it's like pennies.
Not
Yeah.
most girls.
So if you're with a guy and he's like taking care of you, whatever, and and you're putting sexy pictures of yourself up on the internet, I consider that cheating. And a lot of people had a point of issue with that, and I was like, listen, y'all just proved it right now. Like, no, I'll go with the Instagram. Why? Well, because Instagram's gonna create more opportunities for you than one marriageable man.
Facts.
Right? You're able to
Lies.
diversify your risk.
Right.
Go ahead.
Can I say something?
Yeah, sure.
So all the women that said marriageable men, they getting their dick sucked by women like me, okay?
Right.
They're getting their dick sucked.
Not
They're
all
getting
of
their
them.
dick
They are.
sucked.
Yeah, they
Not all
are.
of them.
No,
Yes,
yes,
they
all
are.
of them. No,
All of
for
them.
sure, not all of them.
So some men have values.
Again,
Yeah,
so I
some
think
men-
if you're
some
really
men
strong and
fucking
you
you.
Out of
want
But if it's pussy in their face,
two
they
of
gonna
them.
go for that.
Two of them,
Right.
right? Out of
know.
100, two of them have more. I'm not going to knock it. Yes, you do have some men who
are faithful,
Who have
don't get
values
pussy,
and respect.
majority of them
I
are
think it
paying
has
for
to do
pussy
with
on
the
the low.
caliber of men that you deal with and the caliber of woman that you are. I've been
It
in a
doesn't.
relationship, and no, it really does. It really does. What you have to offer and what you bring to the table. I've been with a man for 8 years, and he never.
How you know?
I can tell you,
me too.
never, because I bring pussy to the table. So why would you have to look for? Pussy?
It's not about it's not about
so
pussy.
one. That's one. Exactly. I'm excited. I'm spontaneous, and I bring more to the table than just sex. And that's the
Right.
problem with women nowadays. I think that sex is everything. Cooking and cleaning is the basics. You have to bring more to me. You have to be
Yup.
supportive. You have to be able to
You're
help
right.
him grow.
as
push
a woman,
him,
as a woman
motivate
to a
him.
woman, you're right.
At the end of the day, that's sucking dick. Everybody can suck dick. A minute.
No, they can't.
Yes, they
I
can.
mean-
No, they
More
can't.
women than average can suck dick. More women than average can fuck. You sucking dick and you fucking.
It's not that.
really
That's not what I was
special.
saying.
Go
I
ahead.
was saying
Go ahead.
All right, go ahead.
a committed man or whatever the case may be, because I'm in that lifestyle, they will pay for pussy, and it's just business.
Yeah.
That's strictly what it is. I ask men all the time, "You fine as fuck. You got a woman. Why are you doing this? Because they bored.
Exactly. Because
Not because you're lacking anything.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
their women aren't
Because they're
excited.
fucking
Because they're
bored.
men and they're programmed to do that.
I gotta real with you. She's on point.
Yeah,
That-
Right.
She's just because, not because you could do everything right, but it don't matter.
yeah, and like I said, it deals with the caliber of men that you're dealing with. Granted,
No, it doesn't.
Eh,
I don't like this whole talk of like, everybody at this table is just not somebody I would ever want to be around. Talking about caliber of men and caliber of women. I think that whole thing is so dumb. If you like somebody and you think they're a good person, then be with them and respect them. And that's really what it comes down to. Be nice. You don't need these podcasts to tell you how to treat women. Just be nice. Do you not know how to be nice? That's all that fucking matters. No mind games, no nothing. Just be a good person. That's all that fucking matters. No, you don't need to know how to suck dick. You don't need to know you don't need to be the richest man in all of whatever. You don't need to give up your Instagram or whatever the fuck. Just be yourself and be a good person. And if yourself isn't a good person, then learn how to be a good person. Because it can be taught. It can be learned. So does he just go in a circle and they just argue about? I
Which
thought
is,
this would be
respectable for yourself.
I thought this would be better, but it's not. It's really not. Let me check his
And we are
his YouTube shorts. Does he have shorts? Let me see. Women are slowly becoming more masculine.
here's the reality.
Yeah.
This is why chivalry is dead and women killed it. I mean, y'all can say what you want to say, man.
It ain't.
But why is a man, real talk, like feminism is here. Women are more educated than ever before. They make their own money. You know what I'm saying? And as a byproduct of them making their own money and becoming more successful, you get a little bit more masculine energy. You're not going to be a heavy hitter making money by being passive and a pussy. You're going to become a little bit more masculine, right? And then on top of that, women are just having a little bit more recreational sex, which is fine, right? Cool, do your thing. But you can't expect men to be traditional, hold the door open for you, pay for the date, treat you like a lady, etc. when you guys are no longer traditional women. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
So guys have adapted to the situation because men haven't really changed. Women have.
Wait, whoa. I don't know because I don't hold the door for women as much anymore because like I have made a couple of them mad at me. Like I can hold the door myself. I'm like, okay, I guess I won't be holding the doors for anybody anymore. Women becoming more masculine, is that a problem? No, it's not. That's a made-up issue. And I don't personally think that women are actually becoming more masculine. I think that Myron is, again, making independence synonymous with bad things. And that is not good. That is not something that you want to do, because then that's just putting it in these young men's minds who are listening to this guy that women should not be allowed to be independent, or that an independent woman is not something that you should look for, when in reality, that's what you want. You don't want somebody whose identity is just being with you. They're constantly dependent on you, and they just do nothing, and they have nothing, and they're just like a shell of a person. That's what Fresh and Fit wants. That's not all right. Let me see if there's another one. Do we have any more? How she should be treated. Okay, let's see that.
And when women lose sexual leverage, guess what? They have no power because that's their only fucking power. That's the only thing that they use to manipulate men. And when you take that away from them, they're powerless against you. That's why society does everything in its power, guys, to not let you know your worth. They do everything in their power to put women on pedestals. They do everything in their power to make men come off as second-class citizens, and she's entitled to your time and attention, and you need to be a gentleman, all that shit. Fuck that. We live in 2021. Chivalry is dead and women killed it. You guys are no longer going to go into this gender war with a fucking butter knife. With us, we're going to arm you guys with bazookas so that you guys can play fair with the women that are in there with rocket launchers as well.
Yep.
Because that's the truth, man. Y'all got to know this is the world that we live in, and times have fucking changed. You can't be a traditional man in a world where women are no longer traditionally women. You got to play by their rules. You got to treat them as expendable commodities, just like they treat us like expendable commodities. Period.
That's weird because I've never actually met a woman who has treated a man like an expendable commodity. I personally have not ever seen that. So I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what kind of women you're hanging out with, but maybe you just need to hang out with a different crowd, because outside of your little bubble, real people don't actually think like this. Women don't see men as expendable commodities. They see us as scary because historically we have fucked with them. We have messed up their lives. We have tried to control them and dehumanize them time and time again. Those are all things that have happened. So yeah, they might be weary towards us. They might, want to empower themselves and defend themselves against this patriarchy that we very much do live in still. That Myron so feels threatened is going away. And I just, these guys are so alarmist about an issue that doesn't even exist. Because it's not an issue. Women being more independent, that's good. Because they're human beings, like men. And they should just be allowed. People should just be allowed to do what the fuck they want, okay? People should just be allowed to be who they want, do what they want, date who they want, and that's that. And date how they want. Like, that should not be up to anybody. It's just really annoying. Unless you're trying to date animals, those zoo people, yo, that's one thing on TikTok that I've had to block some psychos. Some zoophiles. Oh my God. Get those people. Those people don't deserve rights. Those people don't deserve rights. Maybe we'll go into that in another episode. But for now, we're going to do a couple of Karen videos. Keeping up with the Karens. And then we're going to get out of here. Because it's been a long day. And I need to, I really have to poop, okay? Like, I'm sorry. There's one thing that TikTok has done. It's made me more candid about things. So I have to poop. So I'm going to go after this. We're going to watch a couple of the best ones that I find. All right, ready?
Yeah, to be away from here. Did she ever come in here? I'm asking you, did she ever come in here and smoke?
Call the cops.
You know what?
Call the cops.
I would have been good with you. No, I agree with you, but I would have been good with you. The problem is that he's yelling.
Finish it.
People smell that.
Yeah, I smell.
No, I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing. But how would you feel if you had your wife here or you had your kids here, okay? And he's fucking yelling at them. You wouldn't appreciate that either.
You know why I yell at you?
Well, I told you to get her out of here. I told
That's a problem.
No, come on, go with you.
Get her out of here. I know, but I was going to before he started yelling.
No, come on.
No.
You were yelling yourself.
It's okay.
No, I know. But it's just...
I know. Call the cops, please.
What? I don't even know what happened.
Against you.
No, against you.
I don't think you guys have a hope in hell.
Yeah.
Is this a Wendy's, a McDonald's? What are we looking at here? So this lady's up ordering something.
French fries? Yes, French fries. We don't sell French fries.
We don't sell French fries. What? Really? You're Burger King.
This is Taco Bell. Okay, we're Taco Bell, literally.
Oh, okay. It's not Burger King. It's Taco Bell. And she asked for French fries. Well, actually, Taco Bell does have the nacho fries now. I don't know when this video is dated, but they nacho fries. They look pretty good. They do.
I've never been able to not get an order in. Oh, sorry. Welcome to Taco Bell. May I help you today? Tell me what French fry orders you have. We don't have French fries. No, not French fries. We have anything along the side. Anything that's helpful, just tell me. We don't sell French fries. This is Taco Bell. I'm not asking you for French fries. I'm literally tell me what you guys. That's the menu. Go ahead, read the menu. You want to be like messy?
Can she not read? Is she high? Is she on drugs? Like what? There's something wrong with this lady for sure. Like she doesn't know how to read the menu, and she's getting mad that the worker doesn't want to read the whole menu to her. I don't know what her deal is, but she seemed like she was coming in here just looking for a problem or looking to create a problem.
This is racism and it's fucking funny.
No, it's not, girl.
No, it is.
They got tacos and burritos.
Oh, I'm so happy because you have.
What?
come here. Take it. Take it.
I'm gonna.
Take it.
I'm gonna.
Take it. Yeah, take it.
I'm gonna.
What? I don't know what happened here.
Can I have your business card, please?
I don't want to fucking hear it anymore.
Don't want to hear it?
Call the police. I'm ex-military and I'm a fucking cop in the city. Call the fucking police.
Doesn't matter.
NYPD showing their colors. So she's in a taxi cab. I don't know what's going on.
What's your name?
Let go of the fucking door.
No.
Well, good night, guys.
Because she is rude and disrespectful.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a
No,
fuck.
you don't. But you're rude.
Did you miss your father's funeral?
Whose
Okay.
fault is it? Whose fault is it? It's not our fault. Look, don't touch it.
I don't give a fuck about my guys. You can step on them too.
I'm not gonna step on your shit.
I'm late right here. I'm gonna go to sleep, and when the sun rises, then I'll get up.
It doesn't matter. Take the next one.
What?
Okay.
All right. Well, that was weird. But I'm going to end it here because I have to edit this and then I got to make a TikTok. And then I have to poop. That's the other thing. So it's good to be back. It's good to be back. I'll try to make these episodes more organized. I'm sorry. I'm getting back into the swing of things here. I'm just happy to be back. Thank you for sticking with me if you're still listening and following the show. And I will try to get back on schedule. I'll keep you updated on how that is going. And thank you. Just thank you for everything. All right. This has been the Short News Podcast. I'm Alex Mador. I'll see you guys in a couple of days. I love you very much. Peace.